Hey everybody, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, and Fish. As you can see, I'm on the water today. I have a dual purpose mission today, but I'm actually catching bait for a future video. And I'm gonna try to do a catch, clean, and cook with these nice bluegill in here. So, but we're gonna do it a little bit different. We're not doing bobbers and worms or jigs or anything like that. We're actually basically fly fishing with a spinning rod. And what I wanna show you is what I'm using. So what I have tied on right now is a bayou bug. And it kind of looks like this one. I haven't opened this one yet. You can see $4.99. That thing floats, and what I did was I cut the little white legs off of it. I didn't want too big of a profile. So here's mine. And up the line from it, I have what's called a fly bubble. This is so you can fly fish with a spinning rod. That way I can cast a fly on my spinning rod out here and catch all the panfish I want. It's topwater fly fishing for panfish is probably one of the best ways to do it. You don't need bait. You don't got to get all messy. Bluegill have a tendency that's what they eat. Bluegill, perch, all these panfish eat aquatic insects. Worms don't swim around in this water. Insects do. So it's just an easier way. It's real fast. I've already got one in the bucket. Here, let me show you. There's one already down there in the bucket on ice. I'm trying to keep a bunch of small ones for bait for later, and then catch a couple big ones for a catch, clean, and cook tonight. So let's see how we can do. Okay, real quick guys, before I take this first cast, I just want to show you how this bait acts in the water, and I'm hoping that this GoPro can pick it up. So there it is, it's floating. You can see it right there, and then all I got to do every now and then is just twitch it, and then it pops around, and that drives these panfish absolutely crazy. This is the best. This is one of my favorite ways to catch really big panfish. So anyways, let's get to casting. Okay, here we go. First cast, well, first cast on film anyways. Let's put one just right out there. And underneath here is all just a nice little bed of weeds. I'm not moving this a ton. I'm just kind of dragging it along. I pop it every now and again. And they'll come up out of 4 to 5 feet of water to smash this bait. Once I get it into where I can see the bottom, you know, I'll reel in and I'll take another cast. So let's get over here somewhere where I haven't casted yet. Right there. Let's try this. This is also a good way to get a surprise bass. Bass will demolish this bait. Small pickerel, bass, but primarily you're going to catch a bunch of bluegill on this. What I have here is an interesting situation. I got a fallen tree in the water right over there. I don't know if you can see it right over that way. And it's only sitting at about 3 feet of water, which is actually kind of ideal for what I'm doing. And I got my own private spot that's way off the beaten path here. It's a very busy day today with people. So I'm going to work my way from here on over to that tree, kind of fan cast this hole. It's a little flat, and that's perfect for these bluegill. I can cast this because of that fly bubble. I can actually get very long casts. The thing is, if you try to whip it too hard, what happens is it wraps around the line. You got to kind of lob it out there. This is not a fly rod, but this is one of my favorite ways to do it. I'm not a fly fisherman per se. I've done it before, but I like my spinning rod. I like my spinning outfits with my light line. So I'm gonna put a few casts in here. Like I said, I'm just barely twitching this bait. You kind of want to let it sit. All right, here we go. Underneath that tree, this has got to be a good spot. Cast worked out a little too good. Oh, there's one. There's a little guy. That's perfect bait size, going all the way to the bank. Oh, he got off right there. Nice little bluegill. That would have been perfect bait size. I think it was a hair small for fry up. How we're gonna fry them up tonight, but that would have been great bait size for what I want. I knew there had to be some under that tree. he just came up and just barely just sucked it right off the surface. You do have to pay attention. I mean, they're not always going to take your fly bubble and drag it under the water. Sometimes they're just going to suck it right off the surface. You'll just see a little ring and that's it. It's not always a gigantic take. But let's put one a little closer to the bank. Try that. Oh, there was one right there. Good gosh. He's a little guy though. Where's my big boy at? Where's my big boys at? I mean, he bit in like 6 inches of water, so. Usually when they take this bait, you know, if it's a big enough bluegill, he's gonna suck this whole thing right in. He's gonna run off with it because every other bluegill can see it too. It's like a competition. So they want to take it and they want to run with it. All right, let's do one more cast here and then we'll just move around this bend. Let's get way out to that tree again, right underneath it. There's one right there. He's on. All right. That tree, I knew that tree was gonna hold him. What size are you? You're good bait size. Almost eating size. Yeah. Just like that. There's a nice bluegill. Right through the top of the mouth. Not too bad. Yeah, we're gonna take him and throw him in the bucket. That'll be a great cut bait for another video. I gotta stock up on my cut bait. So all I did was I didn't want to mess up my I didn't want to mess up a cooler today. So I got this styrofoam bait pail. Just kind of filled it halfway full of ice. And that's gonna be perfect for keeping my fish fresh while I'm out here making this video. All right, obviously I just caught one under that tree, so we're gonna make one more cast close to it. See if this produces anything. And I'm gonna work my way around the bend. I'm gonna fish more of that tree. Obviously a tree like that could hold quite a few fish. But I want to fish this whole spot. I have the whole place to myself. There's one right there. While I'm talking, this one's got a little more fight to him. This may be an eating size. This one's actually really pulling. I mean, not really pulling, but it's pulling a lot harder than the other one. That's close to eating size right there. I might fry that one up. Pretty fish. Real pretty fish. Again, right through the lips, no problem. Look at that fish, huh? Not too bad. Pop that hook right out. And he goes on ice. I could fry, the way I'm gonna be frying these up is whole. We're just gonna head them, gut them, scale them, fry them up whole, kind of like the old fashioned way. And a fish this size is perfect for that. So this one might get fried. In any case, he's going in the bucket with the other guys. Go. And on that note, I'm gonna move around the bend and see what we got over there. I'm actually trying to load up this bucket, not with a ton. I'm not gonna be greedy, but I do want some for bait for other videos, and then I want at least 2 or 3 for frying up, and I only want the decent ones for that. So let's move around. Okay, we just walked around the bend. The spot that I was just at was right over there. Coming out here, it's more of a point here, but then again, it is still the same little flat. Even way out there is only like 3 feet deep. And again, that's perfect for these panfish. So let's take a few fan casts out here. If there's one there, it will not take long. A little breezy today, which I had not counted on, but it's not affecting anything. I'm still catching fish. This is a really good method for like first thing in the morning. Oh, one just took it down right there. Oh, he let it go. He's on it again. Little guy. First thing in the morning though, this is a fantastic method if you're, you know, and for other fish too, if you're trout fishing, brook trout, rainbows, you name it, this is a great way to do it. If you have spinning tackle. So if you have spinning tackle, there's no reason you can't do a little fly fishing. And as you can see, it's effective. Oh, there he is. He got it. Yeah, I got that one. I got that one. He doesn't seem huge, but he's not bad. He's not bad. Oh, he jumped. He's not bad size actually though. I'm impressed. That's not terrible. It's not huge. We're not on the big donkeys yet. But there's another one for the bucket. Look at the big bluegill on that guy right there. He actually sucked it all the way in. I'm gonna need my pliers for this one. I'm gonna handle this fish and then we'll get right back to it. All right, everybody, one thing real quick. I'm just taking a short break here, just kind of moving my stuff around. I had to handle that fish. One thing you want to do when you're doing this is you want to stay mobile. Obviously, I said that in my first video, but it's huge. I mean, you're gonna have a lot more stuff. You don't want to carry a cooler, chairs, all that kind of crap. Backpack, bucket, fishing rod, and me, and that's it. I can walk for miles. I can do what I want to do. I can walk out down into the woods. I can get to little hard to get to fishing holes, and it's super simple. And I have a good place to keep my fish on ice. I have my pliers right there on the outside of my backpack available. I just needed those for that fish, so everything's working out. I'm gonna give this flat a little bit more, and then we're gonna move to one more spot up the line here, and then after this we're gonna be doing a catch, clean, and cook. So pretty excited about that. It'll be my first one on my channel. See you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so off camera I just caught one more. As you can see, we're actually starting to look like something down there. And like I said, I'm only keeping a couple for a catch, clean, and cook. The rest are just bait for cut bait and stuff. But you know, we're starting to, I've only been here for, I don't know, an hour, and there's already almost a half a dozen in there. So wow, I had to take a big break there. This massive storm rolled in there. Like, everything's glass calm now, but it was white caps out here for about a half an hour. It just rolled in, it rained me out. I had to hide under a tree, but now everything is like a sheet of glass. So we're gonna try to get back into this thing. I would like to catch a couple of more, not just for this video, but also because I want to fry up a couple, and I'd like a few more for bait. I'm sure the majority of people watching this video, you understand that bluegill is a fantastic cut bait. It's good for bait for crawfish and everything else. So it's good to, if you do what I do, to stock up, and that's what I'm doing. I don't know what this storm has affected these bluegill very. It shouldn't have affected them that much. It didn't really change the temperature, but you know, barometric pressure changes with storms, and that can shut fish down, turn them on, and everything else. So all right, that was a perfect cast right at the end of that tree right there. There are some extremely large bluegill in this particular lake, and that's what I was hoping to get at least one or two of those. Not that I'm being super picky, even the smaller ones are just fine, but I was really hoping to showcase one of these monsters that I know is in here. And so we'll see. All right, let's take a cast right out in front of us. I can take a good long cast now because there's no waves, there's nothing. I can see my bait work across the surface. Let's see if this does anything. Oh, somebody bit it. Saw a little ring come up after it. There he is. Nice hit too. He came up and smacked it. That's a fighter. That's a fighter. He ain't probably that big, but he don't feel too small. There we go. Come here, little guy. You're not too bad. Decent sized one. And he came up out of probably 3.5, 4 feet of water for it. He's got some, he's not very long, but he's got some thickness to him. See, a perfect one for the bucket. Perfect one for the bucket. Let me get that out. Drop him. That makes a half a dozen right there. I think I might keep 2 more. I'm not trying to be super greedy. There's no point in keeping more than you're gonna use. So let's try to poke another one here. That was fun. That was kind of a, it's always fun when you're at the end of a long cast and you get the hit. But he aggressively took that down too. He was not playing with it. Oh, there was one. There was one. He just barely sucked it down. There he is. Oh, I wonder if you could even see that hit on camera. These guys are so much fun. This is such a fun way to fish. I hope some of you watching this end up trying this, because it's too much fun. I got to go deal with this guy, use my pliers, but I mean, I could fill a cooler doing what I'm doing. I didn't buy any worms. I'm not getting my hands messy. Super fun to watch him come up and smash the bait. Another thing good about this kind of fishing here, it's a really fun way if you have kids to take them fishing. They're gonna love to watch the fish come up and smash the bait. You know, you don't have to constantly be changing their worms out for them. It's a really, not only is it fun, but it's a very convenient way to fish. Come on, little guys. Highly suggest 2-pound test for this, especially because I don't just use these little poppers. I also use wet flies like you would use for trout fishing. And 2-pound test lets that fly sink real slow. It's not, I don't know how to explain it. Like a big 10-pound test, 12-pound test would it would sink weird. It wouldn't do the same as this 2-pound test does. Not to mention the hook is so tiny and the little eyelet is so tiny that sometimes you need 2-pound test. Maybe 4-pound test would be the largest to even tie the hook on. Not to mention it's fun fighting these fish on light line. All right, I'm taking a really, really long cast on this one. There we go. That's about the max distance I could even see my bait at. Oh, there was one right there. He actually pulled the whole float. All right, let's throw another one out there. Let's go a little bit more like off the end of that tree. Nice long cast. It definitely appears to be that the storm did not kill the fishing, so that's good. Just wish I didn't get stuck in it. Okay, I would stay here all day, but for video purposes, we're gonna move down the line just a little bit. All right, now there's a nice sunfish sitting right in front of me. 2 of them sitting right in front of me. You're not gonna be able to see those on camera. 6 inches of water. Just goes to show you, you don't have to be way out in the middle or anything crazy like that. These fish are just tucked up. There's one right there. Oh, he's a little guy. He got off. He was a little one. There's another one. There's another one. We got that one. Halfway decent size. Still not the jumbo I'm looking for. Still not that jumbo I'm looking for, but this is not a bad bluegill at all. Not a bad bluegill at all. They just go nuts over this thing. Look at that giant bluegill on that thing. There we go. Hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Easy to get him off. That's actually a really good eater right there. He's thick too. Throw him in the bucket. Okay, I've got enough for bait, and I've got like 2 worth eating, but I would like one of the slightly larger ones to add to that mix. So I'm gonna keep at least 1 more, or if I catch another, like 2 medium-sized ones. Like, there's one right there. Wow, man, they are just on fire right now. That's back-to-back casts. He's not quite the size I'm looking for. So like I said, I'm looking for a slightly larger one. We're gonna throw this guy back. No sense in being greedy. He didn't take it deep. Beautiful fish though. Gorgeous. Get back in there, bud. There you go. Where's your grandpa at? Okay. See if we can do that again. I mean, they're in here thick right now. Pretty thick right now. As soon as it hit the water. As soon as it hit the water, I'm on already. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how good this fishing can be. Oh, he must have been hooked by a thread of skin. That's okay, he didn't feel huge. Didn't feel huge. Can we go 3 casts with 3 hookups is the question. There's one right there. I'm on. That's 3 for 3 as far as hookups are concerned. He's another smaller one. I mean, they're all eating size. I could eat every single one of these, especially since I'm frying them up whole. But for meat purposes, I'd like a pretty little fish though, real healthy looking. I'd like a slightly bigger one. Oh my gosh. How did I miss that one? That was just me being an amateur. That was just me being an amateur right there. He inhaled it. That's okay. It's part of fishing. Gotta miss them. Doing pretty good way out there. And they're being really aggressive, so it's just, there's one right there. He's not the biggest one. Again, we're gonna have to put him back, but here we go. We're on again. This is so much fun on light line. So much fun on light line. Yeah, there we go. There's another one. Gonna have to get him off with the pliers. Beautiful fish. Not the biggest ever. You could fry this whole, no problem. But I'm just not. Oh, somebody's messed him up before. He's got a big, kind of like a scar on the bottom of his chin there. Well, guys, I'm hoping you enjoyed this part of the video. Hope you enjoyed this content. If you do me a favor, like it, share it, and give me a subscription. That'd be great. The fishing's been fantastic. I really hate to leave right now. It's actually on fire right now, but I have everything I need, and there's no sense in getting greedy. As you can see, I've caught a few off camera. I've got a bucket full of bluegill right now. I got more than plenty for my cook up. I got a couple decent ones in there, and I also have the ones I want for later for bait. So I'm good. I'm gonna leave. Let's go home and do a quick cook up, and then we'll wrap this video up. Thanks, guys. Okay, everybody, we're back at the house, and it is time to clean some fish. Only a few of these are going to be used for the fish fry. The rest are, like I said, are going to be used for bait. But actually, we did better than I thought. I guess I wasn't really keeping count. I did catch a few off camera, but as you can see, not too bad. This one here is a real nice one. That's a real nice one. I mean, they're all actually decent eating size. The majority of these are going to be used for bait, like I said. But I'm going to take like 3 of these nicer ones and clean them up the old-fashioned way. Super simple, and we're about to dive right into that. So I'm ready. I've selected the fish that I'm gonna have for the fry themselves. So I picked 3 of the biggest ones in here. So here's what you need. Obviously, an outdoor place or wherever you decide you want to fillet your fish at. I have my fillet knife right here. This is a Danko. It's a nice fillet knife. However, I mean, I could only use this fillet knife, but I'm gonna scale these fish. So I wanted a slightly stouter knife for that, so I chose a butter knife. This is only for scaling. Yes, I could use the back of my fillet knife, whatever. I like a stout little butter knife, or maybe even a spoon to do the scaling portion. You're gonna want a rag, clean bucket of water, and a trash bag. And obviously I have my little Ziploc bags for when I'm done with everything. And let's dive into this. All right, everybody, so right off the bat, I'm gonna select one fish here. We're gonna clean that. We're gonna put these other 2 kind of up top here. We're gonna start right off with the butter knife. It's easier, this whole process is easier. And now this is a very messy portion here. We're gonna scale this fish. So I'm gonna hold it like this, hold it from its head, and just go against the grain and peel these scales off right off the bat. We're gonna do that to both sides. You want all the scales off too. You don't want to leave, because you are frying this fish whole. You don't want any scales in your mouth. All the way up to the head section here, all the way down here in the breast section, and that's about that. It takes seriously about 10 seconds for one side if you do it right. We're gonna come over to the other side, do the same thing. Get all them scales off. Use some elbow grease when you do this. You can't be picking at these fish. You got to actually rip these scales off. Sometimes the ones on the top of the head, because the fish is slippery, are a little tough to get to. Just like this. Finish getting them scales off of there. Bam, just like that. That fish is scaled on both sides. That's the first step. Second step, wipe your hands. Third step, come in with this Danko knife. So I said we're gonna cut the head off and we're gonna gut it, and that's it. So right off the bat, I'm gonna cut this head off. Now I wanna cut the head off at an angle. I wanna get this meat that comes all the way up to the head right there. So I wanna kind of go in at an angle, get through that backbone like that, and then cut down like this. Just like so. Then you're gonna flip the fish upside down, slide your knife in down here on the vent. It's just the tip. You're gonna open up the belly section like so. We have our trash bag right here. You take all your innards and guts and things, all the nasties, scrape out anything that's in there and left over, and that's what you're left with. This is what you're gonna fry up. You're gonna fry up this whole thing, and obviously what you want to do is you want to give it a good rinse, and that's why we got this fresh water. Give it a good rinse. Get any leftover scales off or anything that's inside the cavity out. That fish is ready to be fried and eaten. It's that simple, guys. I'm gonna knock out the other couple that I have up here. I'm not gonna bore you with that. And then we're gonna move inside the house to start cooking. Okay, everybody, we're back in the house, and I just want to show you real quick what we're working with here. I got my pot. Inside this pot is oil. I've only filled it up about this far. You don't need a ton. We're gonna get that oil heated up right now. All right, we have flame, that's good. So while that's heating up, I just want to show you the ingredients. Obviously, we got our cleaned fish. We have our red lobster fish fry. This stuff I was very skeptical about at first, but it turns out this stuff is absolutely amazing. So I have that in a bowl along with an egg wash, fish fry mix, and then what I've done here is I've cut up a russet potato into very thin French fry strips, and I'm gonna make some homemade fries just to have something to go with this fish. I have a baster here because I'm gonna lightly baste the fish in the egg wash, then dip it into my fish fry mix, and then throw it in the pan. A lot of times what you do is you actually roll the fish in flour, then the egg wash, then the fish fry mix. I forgot I don't have any flour, so we're just doing egg wash, fish fry mix. And all right, so real quick, guys, just while I'm waiting on the oil to heat up, we're gonna prepare a couple of these fish. So what you want to do, I've already patted these fish off with a paper towel too. You don't want them too wet with water or anything else. So what you're gonna do, just gonna take, it's real simple. You don't want these things dripping and like sopped with egg wash. You just want a nice light little layer, and all this is gonna do is help your coating stick to the fish. That's all it's meant for. You do that, come over to your breading mix, dip that fish. You want a good coat on there. Get it all in there. Some people like to stuff it in the cavity. You're not really gonna be eating a lot of meat from inside here, so I never saw the point of that. Roll the fish really nice in the batter, and this is what it should look like, nice and breaded by the time you're done. That fish is ready to fry. Same thing, come in, I'll do one more. Quick baste on both sides. No big deal. It's not dripping. Fluff my crumbs out. Bam. Bam. Just like so. You know what, while we're waiting on the oil to heat, we'll just do the last one. Grab the last fish, same thing. Just a little egg wash. And this breading mix is kind of light and fluffy anyways. It's not real crummy, if that makes any sense to you. So really, I mean, I'm getting away without the flour. I'm getting away with not having flour anyways. But that is technically the right way to do it. But there you go, that's 3 fish ready for the frying pan. Okay, I've seen fit to the oil. The oil was hot enough, let's just put it that way. And as you can see, it's going nuts in there. That's what you want. That's what you want to see. That's how you know it's going to cook perfectly in the way you want it to cook. That's actually going to slow down as the fish cooks, and then we're going to give this probably about 10 minutes. Maybe a little bit more than that, because I did drop 3 fish in there. All right, guys, we're about ready to take this fish out of the grease, and I just realized one thing. This is a flour sifter. This is not what you use to scoop stuff out of hot grease with. However, it's gonna have to work because I left my other one at another buddy's house when we had a fish fry there. So we're gonna use a flour sifter to get everything out of the grease. There it is. I don't know if you can see how golden brown everything is in there. It's all floating. We're gonna scoop one of these out right now. If I can get just one, that'd be nice. There it is. That is gonna be amazing. I'll tell you that right now. Shake the grease out. You don't want too much excess. Of course, I do have a plate lined with paper towels. We're gonna get all of them out of there. We're gonna use this same exact grease for our fries when we're done here. So I'm gonna let these oh my goodness, these look amazing. Look at that. I'm gonna let these sit on that paper towel. They are gonna be crispy and delicious. I don't know if you can see how golden brown that is. The light's not very good. If I step over here maybe. That's about perfect. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna step right over here, grab our fries. We're gonna dump all these Right in that grease. Oh, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Don't do it. Flame off. About had a boil over there, and that's not good with a hot flame. Okay, so while that calms down, I'm gonna get those going a little bit lower. Yeah, you don't want hot grease on an open flame. That equals house fire, so let's not do that. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do here is switch burners. I'm gonna put this over on this burner, turn the flame on a little bit lower, and continue cooking these, and when they're done, I'll let you know. Okay, crisis averted. We've switched from that burner to this burner because this burner had a little bit of spilt grease around it. I didn't want to turn the flame back on. So we went over here, turned the flame down just a little bit. As you can see, they're going just perfect in there. They need about another 6 minutes. And while we're waiting on that, these are cooling down. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to taste these things. All right, everybody. The cooking is done. We did it. We're done with that. We averted a crisis. And right here, check this out. Tell me that doesn't look just about right. Okay guys, as you can see, we're done. We had a successful day today. I really appreciate you guys tagging along. Check this out. Can't wait to dig into this. We're gonna start right off with a bite. Right off the back of one of these beds. Oh, the skin is crispy. Everything is just right. Cooked up perfectly. Look at the meat on that. Oh my god. Bluegill is one of them fish. It just fries up perfect. And let's try a couple of these fries here. All I did with the fries was I took them out, dried them off on the paper towel, just a little salt and pepper, just kept it basic. The only thing that can make this better is if I was on the shoreline eating it, like a shore lunch. That'd be so much better. This is absolutely incredible. I'm going to enjoy this. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed everything, you know, do me a favor. I know I said it before, but like, share, maybe subscribe if you really enjoyed it. If you enjoy these type of videos. And hell, I had fun doing it. Can't wait to do it again. I'll see you guys on the next episode.